Did you watch the fight?
Did you watch the fight?
No, I didn't. I haven't.
I wasn't pointing at you. I was pointing at them out there. Because Conrick franchise got really angry. Started yelling at the franchise about buying a franchise and doing a franchise and getting a franchise. The only reason I'm doing that is because I went to Sport Clips this week and I asked for a Conor McFranchise haircut.
I think they killed it.
What do you think?
Yeah.
You think I have it?
I almost thought that you were Conor McGregor when you walked in this
Guess
morning.
what? I'm back.
It's good times. This is the 8.
I'm glad all that nonsense is done about guest hosts, especially last week's. Who was last week's?
Kevin Wilson.
That guy is a dud.
He's our friend.
He's our Fran-to-me. I don't even remember, what's it called?
It's Fran-to-me.
Close enough.
Take a couple months off from the 8 and you just forget everything.
Kevin's been texting, harassing stuff to me because he thought he took my job. Well, guess who's back? Back again.
Shady?
Back.
Not shady.
Call a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's...
Okay, that should have been the fantastic, but we actually have some news to report there as well. So on Monday, Whole Foods closed its purchase of Whole Foods, or Amazon closed its purchase of Whole Foods. Wow, I'm really off to a strong start.
Whole Foods closed its purchase of Whole Foods.
You know what I mean. Amazon closed.
Because you get to the end of the line and they ask, do you want a bag or not, right?
Yep.
This is not the 8. That was the 7. Go ahead. Now we'll start the 8.
No, we'll start. Okay.
Amazon completed its purchase of Whole Foods. Back to you, Cassie.
That it did, Nick. So, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's fantastic because already you're starting to see the prices are going down on meat and produce, which is something that for someone that was called whole paycheck, and now maybe they're going to start getting a little bit of a better rap. And I think that it's going to potentially lead to some good innovation with delivery and point of sale systems and even picking things up. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
I got nothing else to say about that one.
Okay.
I like Whole Foods. I like Amazon. Collectively, they're whole Amazon.
Yeah, that's...
Fran Bunny.
Just, this is all over the place. On to the Fran Leverty. So we have another feature from our Franchise Legal Player Awards issue. This one is about Mike Drum, and I really liked reading this because he has a kind of a great story of getting into franchising. There was a Massage Heights in his neighborhood. He went in for a massage, started talking to the manager, asked if he knew about franchising. He said, yeah, I could totally help you out, and now he's a franchise lawyer. So
and he knew nothing about franchising at that point. So two truths there. Mm-hmm. One, anybody can be a franchise attorney. Just kidding. 2, people that don't know about anything about franchising can actually be in franchising. No, that's also false. Those are 2 falses. I like Mike Drum's story, and I got to interview him at the IFE, so that was one of our videos. That guy has a ton of energy. It was like me in the opening of the 8.
It's a lot to handle.
All right.
On to our fresh money. So obviously people go into business because they want to earn fresh money, but it's not every day that a brand really makes like a franchisee's profitability a center point of their operation. But for Penn Station, which is a brand that recently launched on 1851, so check out their link below somewhere here. We sat down for an interview with President Craig Dunaway, and he explains that part of that system is giving their owners the tools and tracking systems that they need to keep track of their costs versus what they're bringing in so that they're able to turn a profit.
I think it's very fundamental that you drive profitability for your franchisees, and if they are profitable, they will validate, and if they validate, they will drive more franchisees, and the circle keeps going. Quite often, and unfortunately, on the unfortunate side, the amount of brands that we get to work with, there are brands that haven't cracked driving the financials up for the franchisees. They're heavily focused on it, but that should be aspect number 1. Before you even consider franchising a business, focus on the profitability of your unit so that you have a reason why someone would want to get into your brand.
Absolutely, well said. Now on to our friend.
Who's this?
Some guy.
Who's this?
Nick McGregor. Conor McFranchise.
No, Nick McFranchise.
Nick McFranchise. I'm going to change your name to that on 1851, see how long it takes to notice.
Check out my new Twitter handle at Nick McFranchise.
Great. So your latest Fran. I actually really like this one because I had something similar happen a couple of weeks ago with Grubhub, and it took forever to get my food. And
I wrote about Grubhub this week.
You did write about Grubhub this week. So I think it's a good warning, not just about customer service, but about how it could negatively impact restaurants.
First of all, Grubhub, I've erased my addresses from your system so you can't find me. It was a horrible experience, let me just tell you that.
It sounded pretty bad.
The column's worth reading. Now, historically, Cassie, I don't know if you ever read my Starbucks rant, but I was no longer allowed in that Starbucks.
No.
That's a good one. I got threatening emails from baristas at Starbucks after I wrote that one.
Yikes.
So Grubhub, I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize to you. I don't want you to come after me. So, but it's a good column.
It is. You should check it out, and it's, thought invoking for restaurants that use
Thanks, Cassie.
it.
Appreciate it.
No problem. So now we're branching forward with Sylvan Learning.
Branch forward.
Branch forward. So they are growing in Pennsylvania. They've had franchises that are really successful in the area, and now because it's an industry with a lot of climbing demand, they've noticed that it's an opportunity for them to continue opening up, and they're actually hoping to open up 15 more locations across the state. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the franchise brands that not only are featured on 1851 as a client, but those that we're covering on an everyday basis are experiencing strong growth. This is good following a presidential election that has been somewhat rocky from both sides. And that can create some hesitation in buying a franchise, but it seems like most of the brands that we're connected to or dialed into their news seem to still be having strong growth here. So that's another brand, but most brands seem to be tracking on par with what their expectations are. I will say one of the smart things that the franchisors did last year as we're swinging into the election was I believe expectations started declining, which is a good thing because expectations were basically CEOs saying, hey, I want to get 500 openings next year, go do it, versus actually looking at data. So the overall franchising community, from the franchise trade publications to 1851 to the IFA, I think collectively we're doing a good job of talking about what does it really take to grow a brand from a franchise development standpoint, from budgeting to expectations to how leads work, and maybe that's starting to equal expectations aligned with realistic growth opportunities. So, great story.
All right.
Here's my favorite part.
Fran Bunny.
Yeah, see if you can make me laugh.
We haven't been filled with Fran Bunnies this entire episode. So this is in honor of Labor Day weekend, which is coming up. The first 4 days after a long weekend are always the hardest. I killed it.
You know what? This is garbage. This is not the way we run 1851. The 4 days after the 4-day weekend, or the days after, are the easiest because we're excited to get back here and cover franchising.
Okay.
It was not a Fran Funny. That's Fran bull.
I think it's a Fran Funny / freaking. Can that be a new segment? Can I please have a
Fran
Fran bull every week?
I felt pretty good about my approach on that one.
All right, on to Franspiration now. This comes from a feature that we have up on Frederick Cohen of Chang Cohen LLC. It says, I hate lawyers as much as the next guy, but as a franchise lawyer, I get to spend my day working hand in hand with the top people in a given industry. I thought it was a nice sentiment. Not Fran bull.
I think a lot of people can relate to that statement. Way to go, Chang Cohen.
All right, now for Frenemies versus Fran. So this goes out to anyone that has been fired recently. There is a new Fran.
So what are they? Are they a Fran or a Frenemy?
I mean, we probably don't know them, so they're just
Okay,
a third.
right.
They're a third party.
Okay, yeah.
So they have a new friend though, Burger King, because they launched a new campaign called Whopper Severance. It's a promotion. So if you got fired and you're willing to talk about it on LinkedIn and post that you have been fired, you'll get a free Whopper. So, I mean,
That seems like a great idea. So if their franchisees start firing them, do they not have to pay royalties?
ooh, interesting question.
Sorry, Burger King. I should not be bringing innovation into this. That's not cool. Look, go after you should be celebrating the employee of the week, like this one.
Yes.
Like she should be getting free Whoppers, not someone who's been flame fired from some place. That's Fran bullshit.
I mean, it's a good way for.
Are we bleeping these or not?
I think we're gonna have to bleep them.
So
we might set a new
should they
record.
Fran?
Yeah, it might be a new record of how many times.
Oh, it could be a shout out to one of our old code hosts. So there you go, Megan.
Pour one out.
That's for you.
Well, on that note.
This was amazing. See you guys. Have a good weekend. Happy Labor Day. Labor Day.